we really didn't know what to expect. All we knew was that we were going downtown, we were going to be academically challenged, and that kids from all over the city would come. We graced the historic doors of Hume-Fogg, ready to face any challenge that was thrown on us. Or so we thought. HFA was very different from what many of us were used to. A lot of us came from 8th grade, where in math class we averaged our teachers' grade books, where in English classes we spent our 8th grade year diagramming sentences. I remember sitting in Mr. Brown and Mr. Kaplan's class the freshman year, and Mr. Kaplan said, "Now you're going to write an essay." And I looked over at my friend Deanna, she's not here this evening, and I said, "Essay? What the hell's an essay?" I heard nothing else the rest of the class period. Soon after that, I was sitting in Dr. Taylor's office with my parents discussing if HFA was the right school for me. But Dr. Taylor looked me in the eye and he said, "If you leave now, there's no coming back. Don't give up so quickly. Stay and make this place great." And it was. No, it was amazing. The curriculum and workload were incredibly tough. That isn't what made Hume-Fogg successful. The administration and the faculty made it successful. They guided us, they gave us choices. They gave us the choice to be successful. And when we were successful, they gave us the opportunities to go even farther. Unlike any high school in Nashville, our faculty cared about us. They cared about the students, not just academically, but socially and emotionally, because we were a family. Although HFA has grown to its capacity, the academic rigors have not changed. A caring faculty is still here. The path that we paved from the very beginning is still being followed today. I'm thankful that HFA has become an institution in Nashville. Now my children, and many of your children, are able to experience what we started 30 years ago.
All right, made back some of that time. Okay, now, the next two people I'm going to call to the stage talk about salt and vinegar. When you just look at them, you literally can see a palpable energy of love, affection, of support. I mean, they really just set the standard for how you really should live your life. And I'm talking about our longest tenured couple from this school's history, Wayne and Dawn Martin. Wayne is in the class of '87, and he was one of the warriors who went through all types of wars and trials and tribulations with me on the basketball team, and when we used to get beaten incredibly, and we just went through a lot of hard times, but eventually we got some payback before we graduated. And Wayne is just, he is a poster child for, you know, what it means to work hard and apply yourself. He is the man. I mean, he is like, I'm sorry, he is the man. He is the CFO for HCA's North Texas division. I mean, he oversees 14 hospitals. I mean, this is a guy that I played basketball with and just a dear friend. And while he was here, his favorite subjects were math, algebra, geometry, and trig. And went to Memphis State, got his BS in accounting, also got his CPA there. They recently moved to Dallas, like I said, with his new promotion. emotionally. He's just doing wonderful things. I was very blessed to visit with Wayne earlier this year to go watch Spurs play the Lakers. And would you know it that he would have tickets right next to Mitch Kupchak, the general manager of the Lakers. I said, okay, this is pretty cool. This is pretty cool. Now, his wonderful wife, Dawn, she's in the class of 1988. She was involved in the French club. She ran track when she was here. Her favorite subject was English. She went to Memphis State, now known as University of Memphis, graduated in 92 with a Bachelor of Science in Early Education, or the Childhood Education. And she's a business owner. She has a massage therapist salon that she does. She goes to people's homes. So I don't know if we have time to make any appointments, but we'll move on. We'll try to get out of here. But like I said, Dawn and Wayne are just a very special couple. And Dawn has committed herself to be just the mother of all mothers. And for those of you who are on Facebook and follow and just see just the beautiful life that Wayne and Dawn portray, it's always inspiring. I enjoy following them, and I'm so glad and proud to call them some of my very dear friends. So, Wayne and Dawn, you got 10 minutes.
All right, well, so many people have covered so many important points about Hume-Fogg, but I just want to cover the diversity piece again. Obviously, I learned to appreciate all different kinds of people from being here, but this is the only place in the city where a shy little nerdy girl from West Nashville could have met the captain of the basketball team that was from East Nashville and drove a Chevelle Super Sport, and we could fall in love and have happy ever after.
Well, Dawn tries to be shy. I unfortunately have to talk in front of lots of people with my job, as Rupert mentioned, but I wanted to mention a couple of things. We were talking about lots of stories here. We've got Kim Green down here, and we're telling stories about Kaplan and Brown and everything, and creative writing, and I wasn't very good at that. I don't know if y'all know that. For any of you in the audience, you know that. And that just was not my thing. And I don't know if Brown's around or if anybody's close, but we went to Radnor Lake, I guess my freshman or sophomore year, and I'm still afraid of canoes. I don't know if you guys are, but Deanna Nolner and I fell in the lake. And in the lake is an exaggeration. On the side would be more in the mud. And so we had the joy of creative writing, which I'm not good at, with mud. Because the one bus did not go back to the school for, 4 hours, because it apparently took that long to do creative writing. So then we moved over to, I hear the wonderful things about Blackshear and Spanish, and my great friend from Lytton, Katie McCullough, talked me into taking Latin. Sorry, Sandra. I still have not met anyone that speaks Latin. I'm still looking, and I guess I got into healthcare as quickly as I could, and I thought maybe that whole linkage to pharmaceuticals would work, but it has not helped me out. But I did the best I could. But anyway, but my point here is that one thing that Hume-Fogg did is so many of you guys in the audience and so many of those folks in those first few years were so talented in like everything. And but you guys embraced me. I was very talented in the mathematics, and so Greg and I are trying to turn the stage on what people think about CPAs. I think Greg's turned a whole nother corner. But nonetheless, folks like Bell and Wagster, they were my Brown and Kaplan back in those days, and so whenever I had a tough day, that was the section of the hallway that I went looking for. And so flash forward, what they say, it's 30 years from then or 27 years from graduation. And so, I've done okay with my limited skills on the math side, and it's worked for me well. I also have apparently a pretty good ability in a little smaller setting than this, and talking to people and getting people to do what I need to do. I try to teach my children so much about what we get paid. You got to learn all these technical things, and whether it's writing or English, mathematics, science. But so much of what we do in our life is how do we associate with people, how do we get along with people, how do we lead other folks, and that's so much what I learned about at Hume-Fogg. And then apparently I was pretty good at picking a girlfriend back in those days, because we've been married 23 years and probably been together 27, 28, so we met, she's 1 year after. So anyway, with that, I'll let you get a few minutes back, and thanks so much.
Jerry. Now from the class of 88, we have Mike Bonds. Mike was involved with the Nightly News staff. He was the features editor. He was involved with forensics, the Acoustical Vibration Appreciation Society, the Chemistry Club, Political Action Club, German, and of course, the Baseball Card Club. His favorite subjects at Hume-Fogg were American history and English. When he was here, he was in the Honor Society and graduated magna cum laude. And he received the National Consumer Credit Association Scholarship Award. He went to Belmont and graduated magna cum laude in 1992 with a Bachelor of BA, Business Arts. And today, he is a project monitor at LabCorp Clinical Trials in Brentwood. Mike's been married for 11 wonderful years. I wanted you guys to know that. So I guess he doesn't want to get in trouble when he goes home. So Mike, you have the stage. Thank you.
All right, now we are going to lose some time. I told Rupert I spent 3.5 years in a monk-like silence at this school, so I'm going to make up for it tonight.
Not that much.
All right, I'll cut it. Distinguished alumni, administration, faculty, guests, it is a great honor to be here before you, reflecting upon this incredible institution and those who nurtured it from an idea to a reality to the best high school in Tennessee and one of the best in the nation. And as I began preparing for this evening, I reflected upon my 4 years spent in these hallowed halls, and though the vividness of many memories has been softened over the ensuing years, I recall with much fondness the time spent in the company of friends, acquaintances, teachers. Even amongst the term papers, 40-page journals, math and science exams, gym classes, and countless other obstacles, there was a profound sense in myself that those times were incredibly significant and would help to shape me into the person I would be 10, 15, now 25 years into the future. Upon graduation, I found within myself a small but significant sense of melancholy, realizing that my time at Hume-Fogg had come to its expected end. There was a sense of loss, to be sure, but more than that, there was an unanswered question hanging in the ether. What next? Well, college, of course, and then maybe postgraduate studies, or off to the real world, a job, a marriage, a family. But what would take the place? What would fill, to quote the renowned philosopher Gordon Sumner, or as you may know him, Sting, the hole in my life? Unbeknownst to me, the teachers and administration present during that time had set upon a course to ensure to their greatest abilities that the answer to that question would be revealed. And that was the sheer genius of this whole operation, to instill in each of us the ability to determine what we needed to do and where we needed to be. And I found that as I moved away from the years spent treading the warped wooden-floored hallways that I loved so much, I carried within me the answer. This week I thought of the teachers that I encountered at Hume-Fogg, what diverse backgrounds and experiences each of them had when they crossed the threshold into this particular academic universe, much like the students they instructed. Now, there were some I liked more than others, some that I had learned more from than others, but they were all here for a reason. The ones who made the greatest impression upon me tended to be those who used an unorthodox compassion to get across a point, an idea, a concept. To all of those individuals, I will forever be grateful, and I will never be able to express that gratitude enough. To take the vision of Hume-Fogg and make it a reality, a living, breathing organism that is nurtured by its surroundings and reciprocates by sending out the best and brightest individuals into the immediate community and beyond. I cannot truly fathom the foresight, the fortitude, the divine inspiration required. The individuals who made Hume-Fogg a reality are owed my deepest thanks. Now, I have to share one story that comes to mind when I think of the phrase unorthodox compassion. Or maybe I'm confusing that with abject fear. Either way, I can think of no teacher from whom I learned more at Hume-Fogg than Frank Travis. Many of us in attendance this evening need only hear the word coach, and even if you were never coached by him, he's the only person that comes to mind. Now, it was the spring of 1988, and the day had come for the final semester exam in senior English. All the students instructed by Coach trudged to his classroom, saying prayers, offering up Hail Marys. If only there was time for a burnt offering. Now, as we entered the room, we found that the desks had been arranged loosely in an oval, and in the middle of that oval was a set of golf clubs. Coach, who had the habit of kicking off his loafers and putting his feet up on his desk, was in just such a position. When all were seated, he announced that he had a tea time in 2.5 hours. The exam would last 2 hours, and if any of us thought he was giving up that tea time waiting for us to finish, well, we were sadly mistaken. I found out in Coach's class